God finds when we do the things we do. Love drops fill his eyes, 'cause he loves us so true. Sometimes I feel such hurt when I try to realize, even though he's gone, I wonder if I cries. I wonder if God cries. Is his heart filled with pain? Does he bow and weep when we curse his holy name? I wish I could see him for the world apologize. When we stumble so, I wonder if I cried. Maybe time will tell when we reach that distant shore, with all his children home. Maybe God will cry no more. Oh, Lord, God's in his eyes. Oh, I wonder if God cries.
Stand up.
Alright, so I'm going to try and not bore you with a bunch of facts, but I may end up, so it doesn't matter. So anyway, so this is Norwich, England. This is, well, first, I'm John, for those of you who don't know me. And I'm moving to England, so...
Turn what?
So, yeah, you're supposed to say all not boo. You should feel better about yourself. Anyway, so this is a little picture of Norwich, England. That's where I'm moving. It's a little city, so before anybody asks, no, I get told a lot. So when you move to London, I don't live anywhere near London. It's about 2.5 hours northeast from London. So, because everybody's all like, when do you leave for London? I don't. So yeah, so anyways, this is where I'm moving. That's Norwich Castle up on the right side of it. Yeah, and so that's just a little picture of it. And then, so I can show you a bunch of pictures, which I will, but before that, I figured a video would be cooler.
Come on. There we go.
See, apparently it doesn't become a city of culture until 2013. So. Yeah, so apparently it's really uncultured.
Because you're moving there.
John's the new culture coming in.
Okay, anyway, so, okay, let me give you a couple facts about the city. Where you, well, yeah, that was my city on the video. There you go. See, I told you it's kind of like New Orleans.
Oh, that's not good.
Anyways, not listening. So, urban population in Norwich, in case you're wondering how big it is 194,000, basically. It's located on the River Winsome in England and is a regional administrative center for the county town of Norfolk. Sorry, so basically it's kind of like Nashville's in Davidson County, Norwich is in Norfolk County. So just kind of give you an idea. A little bit of history on it. Norwich received a royal charter from Henry II in 1158 and another one from Richard the Lionheart in 1194. Following a riot in the city in 1274, okay, sorry. Norwich has the distinction of being the only English city to be excommunicated by the Pope. Yeah, so they rioted so bad the Pope excommunicated them. So, but then there's a cathedral in the city. I'll show you in a minute, and they actually built an archway. Oh, we're not going there yet.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Scared me there.
Yeah, no, just a little bit of history on it first, and then there's actually an archway at the cathedral that they built as like penance to the Pope to be excommunicated. So let's see here. Oh yeah. So just to give you a little bit. Oh yeah. First of all, it was established as a city in between 924 and 939. So it's pretty old. And then also to give you an idea of how old this place is, it was actually before it was an established city. It was actually inhabited by the Romans. And then after that, once it was actually established as a city, it was inhabited by Vikings. So, in case you're wondering how old this place is, it's pretty darn. Alright, so, this is the River Winsome. That's what I told you about. This is what the whole city is located on. I guess and then there's a street called Elm Hill, or a section of the city called Elm Hills. And it's just this really old section of town. It's still all Tudor buildings. Basically, yeah, it just looks like it did back in medieval times. So it's pretty good. Huh? Yeah. And next. Alright, so this is the city center. No, I didn't spell it wrong. That's how they spell center. So I know anything else with a loser in it now, like spells center. So basically that's where all the fun stuff happens, kind of the center. Yeah, and then over there's a marketplace. The market is on crates, open every day. It's kind of like a farmer's market and a flea market mixed together. But it's been around since the medieval era, and it's just kind of stuck. And so it's just this open air marketplace. And then next we have Norwich Castle.
Whoops. Yeah. No, that's...
Norwich Castle is, well, first it's a castle. But here he is. Okay, Norwich Castle was built by William the Conqueror. In the aftermath of the Norman conquest, he ordered its construction because he wished to have a fortified place in the important city of Norwich. It was founded sometime between 1066 and 1075. So yeah, that's the castle. It's now a museum. Alright, next. There we go. This is Norwich Cathedral, and it's kind of like this, the big part of the city. If you look at any point, pretty much in any panorama, the one thing you can see, there's not a lot of skyscrapers because it's a very old city. The one thing you see, their skyscraper is the cathedral. And so just a little bit on the cathedral. It began in 1096 and was constructed out of flint and mortar, etc., etc., etc. A Saxon settlement and 2 churches were demolished to make room for the building. The cathedral was completed in 1145, and the Norman Tower today is topped with a wooden spire covered with lead, so that spire's original. So it's really old, and like I said, you can see it from pretty much anywhere in the city. So it's pretty cool.
Hallelujah. Okay. Back over here and go boom.
Alright, so yeah, this is the University of East Anglia. Here's some pictures of it. So first University of East Anglia, yeah, I mean it's a pretty cultural university. As you saw, I mean it has American football. So there's not like a lack of anything. I mean I think they have baseball there too. I mean they have pretty much everything. Yeah, there's a lot of international students. There's Americans, I mean Chinese, whatever, from all sides of the world. So anyway, so yeah, this is the University of East Anglia up here. There are a lot more pictures in the snow. I didn't want you guys to think I like lived in like Narnia or something, like in the middle of the Arctic. So yeah, so over here or on that side, whichever one you want, I just realized I'm looking at this side the whole time. So that's called the Broads right there, like kind of like that lake area. The whole school is pretty much located around that. And then up there on the right is what's called a ziggurat, and that is their dormitories. Those are the school dorms. So it's just a really small part of the school. The actual school, I guess, is up there on the left, and that's kind of the whole thing. It's like a big concrete block. So, yeah, but it's a really good school. Like it's also in the top 1% of the universities in the world. It's one of the top 20. It's in the top 20 universities in the United Kingdom. So it's pretty awesome because in the top 20, I think like Oxford and Cambridge are up there with it. So it's pretty cool. I'm not sure on that, so I'm gonna say this. Alright, so anyways, next picture. Alright, the best part. The absolute best part. Because you know me, you know like soccer. So this is the North Canary Football Club. They're awesome. Even though they lost 5-0 yesterday, but we're not talking about that. So yeah, just a little bit about them, because it's really cool. On the right there is Grant Holt. He's a genius. Yeah,
He looks
it. On the bottom there, that's just kind of the front entrance, and then on the side there's an actually in the field. The place is called Carrow Road. Just a little bit about them. They were in British soccer, or English soccer. There's a league. There's 3 different leagues, and the bottom 3 every year in the number 1 league is called the Premier League. The bottom 3 get demoted, and the ones below them, the top 3 get, promoted. So it's kind of flip-flop. Well, these guys were the top in their league 2 years ago and got promoted, so they're back in the top league of soccer. So I'm pretty excited about that. You guys may or may not know them, but I mean, if you've ever heard of Liverpool Football Club or Manchester United, you should have heard of Manchester United. If you haven't, we can't be friends. Yeah, so yeah, Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, you think that they're going to be playing those guys, the big guns, I guess. So yeah, so that's the Norwich City Canaries. What's up my next page? But I'm going to tell you a little bit about full English. That was the first thing I ever ate when I went to visit in England, and it's intense. It is a traditional British breakfast. There is sausage, black pudding, ham, eggs, tomatoes, beans, mushrooms, french fries, toast, hash browns. So it's really intense. And in case you wonder what black pudding is, it is like a little bit of pig fat and the blood, and it's been boiled together and turned into sausage, and it is actually really delicious. So it sounds really gross, but I tried it, and it does not taste bad at all. But yeah, so that's a full English, and I was jet lagged and really not feeling my best, and that was the first thing I had to eat. So yeah, so it was huge. Next is, and that's my photo, by the way. That's not from the internet. The rose is also my photo that my friend's family made. There's a traditional Sunday rose. That thing in the middll, actually, this thing's lined up on the side, looks kind of like bread. That's Yorkshire pudding. In case you're ever wondering what that looked like, that's Yorkshire pudding. There's just roast beef, potatoes, your usual stuff that you would have with a meal. So, and then I had to put it up there because everybody asked about it. That is some fish and chips. And in case you're wondering, mushy peas, do you just have them? They're horrible. They really are. They're terrible. The worst thing you'll ever have in your life, I promise. It's gross. So yeah, so that's traditional English food. That's only like the question I get. Well, can you talk about the food? I heard it's bad. So everybody's always talking about bland food. That's a lie. It's a horrible lie. So yeah, here's the food.
You better run.
Okay, but no, why am I going? That's the question I get asked 99% of the time. People are like, John's moving to England. Well, why? So that's the first question. So I'm thinking of my answer, okay?
You should have done that before you got up there.
Well, I think of new reasons. Like, it's one of those things, kind of like a snowflake. I don't want to be the same every time, except not a snowflake. So, why am I going? I'm basically going, the answer I basically give everybody, though, at the core of why I'm going is I feel it's where God wants me to go. Well, kind of start with, I wanted to go since I was a kid. I guess I was about 7 or 8 years old. I mean, I was kind of, my dad used to read, I mean, British literature to me and stuff as a kid, like, to go to sleep and stuff, like Chronicles of Narnia, stuff like that. So anyway, so I've been fascinated with England since I was a child. And then I got into Harry Potter, and then it just all went and it's exactly like Hallmark, so I don't have houses, or flying brooms, or a wand. And I'm not loaded like everyone. Not one's version of Queen, but anyway. So, but I still at its core is why you ever have those things that, you know, you had since a child and you grow up and it just kind of comes to fruition, like it finally comes about and you just feel like, you know, like God is just kind of preparing you for that your whole life. It's kind of what it feels like. Maybe it's lame, I don't know, but that's what it is to me. And so I wanted to go since I was a kid. And then I guess this was about a year and a half ago, I made a friend in England. And I went and I visited and it was awesome. And I came back and I was like, I really want to move there. And I just, like, really, really, really bad. And so I came back and I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I really, really want to go. I really want to do this. I was like, I know it's right. And I told her, I basically told her I was dead serious, like I was going to do anything I had to get there. And I was willing to do it. And that's one of those things I knew it was a God thing, because, you know, a lot of things, you know, when you want it, like you'll do something to get there or do it or accomplish it, but you'll only go so far. I knew, like, I was willing to do anything and everything I had to. Like, for money at one point, do you know in Israel you can sell your kidney? So I did. I could how to sell my kidney, but I got scared, and it was illegal. So yeah, in case you're wondering, it's illegal to sell your kidney in the United States for money. Yeah. You're welcome. So watch out for that stuff. It's a serious issue, bro. But anyways. But I was willing to do anything and everything I had to get there. And that was when I knew. I never felt passionate about something like that before. I never like felt like, yeah, this is something I'm meant to do. My whole life I just kind of going through, you know, just things kind of worked out the way they were supposed to work. I just kind of got, like Rebecca, I don't even know how I got there. I just kind of had an acceptance letter one day. Like, I don't even know like the point that got me there. I just kind of always went with the flow, and that's just kind of where I ended up. And I don't regret it at all, it was great school. But this was just something that I actually felt passionate about, something that I felt like in me that was important to do and was important for me to be there. And then, and I was kind of like, okay, maybe it's not a God thing though, and I was at this point, I didn't care, but I was going to do it anyway. But I stopped and I said, okay, God, let's talk this out. And my mom told me, she's like, just talk to God. Like, it's what He wants, it'll work out. And so, eventually, through a series of events, I'm going to have a flat. It's just a fancy word for apartment in England with my best friend, who's the one who I met and lives in England. And so I'm going to share a flat with him, and I'm going to the University of East Anglia. Now, the University of Anglia is where God, I really think, came in, like his big shining moment that I knew it was God. The qualifications for the University of East Anglia are a 3.5, I can't remember if it's a 3.0 or a 3.5. It's 3.0 or 3.5 GPA. Let's say 3.0 just because I'm gonna shoot low. 3.0 and a 28, I think, in your ACT is the requirement to get into the University of England. And normally that's the minimum. They normally post their minimum requirements. I had a 2.5 GPA in high school and a 23 in my ACT. So I was really like, here's their standards, here I fall way below them. So they were like, I talked to Mom and I was like, I feel like I'm supposed to be in England. And you know, like I said, I met my best friend and he pushed me to do this, he pushed me to go, like he really wanted me to go and I really wanted to go. And so I just prayed about it. And then so I applied and I figured, and I emailed the school and they said, you know, I'm not going to say they told me, I'm not going to say that you can't get in, but we're not going to say you will, but it doesn't hurt to apply. So I applied, and in England they have 2 different types of offers. Well, 3. They have the declined offer, or just a declining of your application. They have a conditional offer and an unconditional offer. A conditional offer states that if you apply, that there's conditions you have to meet to be accepted. You have to do these things and go through these steps and make these grades or whatever to get accepted into the school. And also through the UK application process, they have the unconditional. And unconditional means they want you regardless. Like, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to, they just want you. And I got an unconditional offer from the school. So, because I sent in my Tribeca transcripts, and my Tribeca's transcript was a 3.3. So, there you go. And so I realized, I just ended up at Tribeca, but for a very important reason. And then I realized I'd met my best friend for a very important reason. Because I wanted to go 2 years ago. I actually tried to apply to a school in England. My mom told me no. She said it was right. She said it was the right time. She said it was a God thing to her. It just felt like something in her was just saying no. And so I was like, okay. So anyway, 2 years later, I'm moving to England, gonna get to live with my best friend, go to this awesome, top 1% school. And then just the other day, they approved my loans and everything, so my entire school was covered. So, well, through loans, but still, I have it covered. So yeah, so it's all these little things that shouldn't have happened. I shouldn't have gotten to school, plain and simple. Because I had to send in my high school too, and so, they saw a 2.5, 23 versus a 3.0 and a 28. So I thought I was going to get a conditional offer, and they were going to say, well, maybe. So I was just banking on that, hoping. And then next thing you know, you wake up, you got an unconditional offer. And they actually made me 2 offers. They offered me an unconditional in education and history. So I got to pick. So it was awesome. So yeah, that's just kind of why I'm going. And then what I want to do once I get there, I want to go there. I hope to start up a youth ministry eventually after I graduate. And I'm going for history. I want to study. And then I'm going to get my master's in education and be a high school history teacher over there. So, oh yeah, and also another big question gets asked: how long are you staying? It's kind of a permanent move, so
relocating.
Yeah, relocating. Yeah, so that's why I'm going. And that was a little jumbled and all, but it's just every time you talk about it, you just realize the other little things that you kind of miss, and you try to fit them into what you're saying. Because every time I talk about it, I'm like, oh hey, God also did that too. And you just kind of realize more and more everything that he kind of did. So, it's always kind of jumbled. But yeah, so now, oh yeah, being the good college student that I am, I cited my sources. Yeah.
Yeah, read those.
Yeah, because I took a class on all the punishments of copyright infringement. So, I'm that guy, and I cited my sources like a good college student. So, anyway, so now for the fun part, if there are any, there may not be, but if anybody has questions. This is an awkward silence too.
How liberal is the school?
How liberal is it? Well, it's English. Yeah. Especially in England, folks, there's a lot of alcohol, but I don't drink. So, to put some people's fears to rest, I don't drink. I'm a good Christian boy.
I don't think it's any worse than going to the UT.
No, it might be.
Yeah.
England's a little rough sometimes. It's great. But, so, yeah, Well, it's
Where you
civil, but
going?
they also have religious there too. They have a religious department. I think they actually have like a church on campus. I don't know. But I already picked my church, so that's important.
And how are you going to stay in touch with us?
Yeah, there's Facebook, and you can Skype me.
What are some people
The hours are different. They're 6 hours ahead of us. So what time is it now?
Okay, for those of us that are technologically
It's like 12 o'clock, so it's 6 o'clock over there.
John, you're going to do a newsletter with us, are you?
I am a video newsletter.
If you have Skype and you have Skype, it'll fill me on
Yeah, so if you call me at 2 in the morning, I will not be happy. I will not be happy.
Can we do it at
all.
He'll probably be
No,
up.
I'll go
I'm
to
gonna call you
jail.
at 3 just because of that.
Yeah, I prefer, oh yeah, call me at 9. Yeah, it'd be 9.
You're also
So, yeah.
you have your blog too, right?
I do. I also have a blog on. I've never done a blog because I didn't want to be that guy who was like a blogger and like sat in Starbucks on my Mac. And like, I didn't want to be that guy, but I am now that guy. Except I'm not doing it at Starbucks. So. It's on the church Facebook page of me. So it's if you have the same thing, it's on the same format as Tori and Jared. We follow each other. It's kind of cool. I'm just saying.
If we come
But-
to England, we have a place to stay.
If I like you.
Just remember that babies do not go in suitcases.
Yeah, apparently Hayden and Lucas are not allowed in my suitcase, so that was unfortunate. That was bad news.
Is the football club aware that you will be stalking them? Do they
I
have
can either confirm nor deny.
do they have your picture hanging in the lobby?
They probably do. I knew if I meet Grant Hole, I'll cry. I will. Like that 13-year-old girl who's Justin Bieber. Except you know Grant Hole's cool. So yeah, so there's those. Any other questions?
Tell them you're gonna live outside of Norwich.
Oh yeah, I'm at the moment I'm living I actually live in a village called Kasi. So there's that fun fact. So yeah, it's a village. I'm pretty excited.
How will you get around over there?
A bus system. Because if you go to my school, they actually have students get a bus card, and it's like $250, and it's good for the whole year, and it's unlimited bus rides on the whole city. So, and then if I want to get anywhere else in the country, they have a train station in Norwich. So,
Do you have the ability to do a license over there?
yes. And actually, if you go over there and you stay for more than a year, even if I had an American license, it would become void after 1 year. That's what I was informed of. It's void after you have to get a British license. I would. I don't know if I'd say anything to them. Like if I'm reading Paul McCartney, I'd probably be a little starstruck since Paul McCartney.
Will you start speaking with an English accent?
It takes about 10 years to pick one of those puppies up. So.
No, it doesn't.
Will
Yeah.
you do it just for
No,
He
fun,
was
or
there
will
for
you
10
try to
days and
learn?
picked it up.
It's
Will you do it just for fun when we Skype you
what?
talking in English accent?
I'll have friends who can.
We can talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah, you can talk to me in English accent. It might be a little strange, but
I know all this is working out for you. You're still trying to come back to church camp.
yeah, I am. I'm gonna try and be back every year for church camp, but it just depends on the dates because my school actually doesn't. The semesters end until July. Our semesters are